The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. Aslan bounded over to a statue of another lion and breathed on it. The statue shook. Then the cold hard grey stone rippled, seemingly turning into a flowing river of golden fur. The other lion, now free from his stone prison, started helping Aslan in his quest to deimmobilize all the other statues in the court area. There were hundreds, perhaps even thousands. Orders, centaurs, even a few humans who were unlucky enough to stumble across this hidden world and faced the White Witch's wrath. The ones who had weapons readied them. They drew swords, carved bows, sharpened knives, and brandished clubs. Never had Lucy, Peter, or Susan thought they would be in an actual battle before, but here they are right now. Peter and Susan readied their weapons, while Lucy slipped her cordial into her pocket for easy access. After all the stupefied creatures had been revived, Aslan let out a mighty war cry. Their army bellowed and charged, brandishing whatever they had on hand. The enemy replied with a loud groan and met their attack head-on. From the corner of her eye, Susan saw the White Witch turning more of their allies into stone. She started running towards her, but stopped, horrified by the scene before her. Aslan was cornered by a large pack of wolves. He let out a low growl to warn them away and to try to intimidate them. The largest wolf, the Alpha, growled back, and the pack started to circle around Aslan. The Alpha pounced and landed directly on Aslan's back, and the other wolves followed it. Overpowered by the sheer strength and numbers of the wolf pack, Aslan quickly succumbed to his injuries. The Alpha, who had delivered the killing blow, leapt off Aslan's back, its sleek black fur matted with patches of red. Too concentrated on the massacre that had happened before her, Susan didn't notice the White Witch creeping up on her until it was too late. An icy hand grasped her shoulder, and the last thing Susan heard before she was petrified was the White Witch's cackling. After seeing her sister getting turned into stone, Lucy rushed over to her side, forgetting to check her surroundings. That was a huge mistake, as the Alpha was still prowling around. While Lucy was fumbling with the cap of her cordial, it snuck up behind her. Hearing the snow crunch, Lucy spun around and came face to face with the Alpha, its lips pulled into a snarl. It moved and pressed a paw to her slender neck, choking her. It didn't let go until Lucy went limp and stopped moving. Peter, fueled by rage and adrenaline, ran towards the White Witch, only to be blocked by an orc towering over him. It swung its club at him, and Peter dodged. He knocked an arrow and fired. It punctured the orc's heart, and the orc toppled over, dead. He sped up, dropping the bow and drawing his sword. 10 meters, 5 meters, 2 meters, 1 meter. Just as he was about to drive the sword into the witch, he felt an intense pain in his stomach and looked down to see a dagger protruding from it. He collapsed to the ground, and through watery eyes, he made out the blurry figure of his brother, Edmund, with his hand outstretched. He fell unconscious soon after that. The white snow around him dyed to a blood-red color. The White Witch let out a chuckle, and with a wave of her wand, turned all of Lucy's, Peter's, and Susan's allies into pillars of sand. She flicked her wrist and reduced the 3 children who had opposed her to nothing but a small pile of ashes on the ground. With another twitch, she released Edmund from his spell and disappeared. After coming to his senses, Edmund looked around and saw nothing but sand and a heap of ashes on the floor. Remembering what had happened and what he had done, he picked up all the ashes and placed them into a small box he always carried around with him. A few years passed, with Edmund slowly turning mad with depression grief and not finding the way out of Narnia and back into the real world. One day, as he was continuing with his hopeless quest to find an exit, he stumbled across a large ravine. A sad smile spreading across his face. He took the small ornate wooden box that contained his sister's and brother's ashes out of his pocket. He built a small antler for them and buried the box in the snow. Then he walked to the edge of the ravine, breathed slowly, and jumped into the endless void below his feet. The end.